How did gas prices stay low under the Trump administration? I'm going to show you exactly how that happened. And keep in mind, this is in response to me saying that Donald Trump was the worst president for the oil and gas industry ever in history. And someone said, for the oil industry or for consumers? And I said both. So here's what happened. This is a report put out by the EIA the week before Donald Trump took office, January of 2017. Crude oil prices expected to increase slightly through 2017 and 2018. Keep in mind, oil was $50 a barrel. So how could the EIA say oil prices are not going to rise significantly for the next 2 years? Like, that's a pretty big prediction. Well, it's because when Donald Trump took office, we had 3 billion barrels of oil in supply around the world. That's not counting like strategic petroleum reserves. That is working oil in supply, 3 billion barrels. That's more than we should ever even think of having. We had a ton of extra oil. We didn't even know where to put it all. And they knew it was going to take us a couple of years to work through this massive oversupply from the huge oil crash that occurred at the end of the Obama administration. So he inherited $50 oil, $2.40 gas, and 3 billion barrels of oil sitting in oversupply around the world. He didn't have to do jack. All he had to do was sit his fat ass on that golf cart and do nothing. Now, what I have here is oil and gas bankruptcies by quarter, okay? And this is start of the Trump administration right here. These bankruptcies through the first couple of years of the Trump administration, these bankruptcies were due to natural market forces. There was nothing crazy occurring. We had a long period of low oil prices, so bankruptcies were occurring. So I don't attribute any of these bankruptcies to Donald Trump until you get to right here. Right here. This is 100% Donald Trump. This is the great oil crash of 2018. That is where Donald Trump promised Saudi Arabia that he was going to place sanctions on Iranian oil. He got them to increase production, and then he gave Iran waivers, which completely crashed the whole market. He completely double-crossed OPEC. So for the oil industry, after a 4-year-long crash where they were trying and struggling to crawl, out of 4 years of low oil prices, Donald Trump decides to just crash the market again, all on his own, because he is just a stable genius. So he does this, and bankruptcies in the oil and gas industry start averaging one every week. We were having a bankruptcy every single week in the oil and gas industry for the last 3 quarters of 2019. This has nothing to do with COVID. In addition, we lost 30% of our drilling rigs. We lost 30% of our capacity to drill wells because of Donald Trump. Keep in mind, when he did this, gas prices were lower than they are right now. Gas never touched $3 on a national average, and he still pulled this shit. But the thing is, the reason I said both consumers and oil companies is because this right here is what caused the OPEC 2020 deal. The OPEC 2020 deal was OPEC's revenge for this. If Donald Trump had never done this, then this wouldn't have occurred. Not the way it was structured, a 2-year, 10% production cut. This resulted in the highest gas prices in the United States under Joe Biden, because this lasted until 18 months into the Biden presidency. This was also a huge driver of global inflation. It wasn't the only reason, but it was a huge driver of it. In addition, we lost a ton of refining capacity right here. We also lost a ton during COVID. You know how much money we saved on gas because of that huge crash that Donald Trump personally caused? 7 cents a gallon. We saved 7 cents a gallon for a bankruptcy a week. We saved 7 cents a gallon for a bankruptcy a week and the highest gas prices in history. There's your answer right there. Thanks.